For many years, Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos have been the epitome of a Hollywood fairy tale. Their romance began on the set of All My Children, blossomed into a beautiful marriage, and created a family filled with love and laughter. We've seen them conquer red carpets, parent 3 amazing children, and support each other through every career high and personal challenge. Kelly, with her boundless energy and witty charm, has always been the picture of strength and optimism, while Mark, her handsome and devoted husband, has been her unwavering rock. Their bond seemed unbreakable, their life a testament to enduring love in the public eye. We, their loyal audience, have always admired their dynamic, their authenticity, and the palpable love that radiated from them. The idea that something so profoundly tragic could penetrate their seemingly perfect world was, frankly, unthinkable. But beneath the surface of their idyllic life, a storm was brewing, a silent, insidious threat that would soon bring them to their knees and break Kelly's heart in ways she never imagined. As the years passed, eagle-eyed fans began to notice subtle shifts. Mark, while still undeniably charismatic, seemed to occasionally carry a flicker of weariness in his eyes, a slight hesitancy in his usually confident stride. These were fleeting moments, easily dismissed as the demands of a busy career and raising a family. But for Kelly, who knew Mark better than anyone, these small signs were red flags. Behind closed doors, away from the flashing cameras and adoring crowds, Mark had begun to experience a series of perplexing health issues. It started subtly: unexplained fatigue, persistent aches, a general feeling of being unwell that doctors struggled to pinpoint. These weren't dramatic, acute symptoms, but rather a slow, insidious erosion of his usual robust health. Kelly watched, her heart clenching with worry, as the man she loved so fiercely began to fight a battle against an invisible enemy. The boundless energy that defined their life together slowly started to wane, replaced by a quiet struggle that they kept fiercely private. The journey to understand Mark's declining health became an agonizing odyssey. They consulted countless specialists, endured endless tests, and navigated a labyrinth of medical opinions, each one offering more questions than answers. For a couple accustomed to solving problems head-on, this prolonged uncertainty was torture. Mark, a man of immense strength and resolve, found himself increasingly frustrated by his body's betrayal. The fatigue became debilitating, the pain more frequent, making even simple tasks feel like insurmountable challenges. Kelly, ever his fiercest champion, transformed into his primary caregiver and advocate. She researched tirelessly, coordinated appointments, and provided an unwavering pillar of emotional support. This wasn't the glamorous life portrayed on television. This was the raw, unfiltered reality of a couple facing a profound health crisis. The unspoken burden they carried grew heavier with each passing day, casting a long shadow over their otherwise bright lives. The fear, the helplessness, and the constant worry began to chip away at Kelly's own vibrant spirit, threatening to break her heart. As Mark's condition continued to worsen without a clear diagnosis, the emotional toll on Kelly became almost unbearable. Imagine for a moment the woman you know, the picture of resilience and positivity, watching the love of her life fade before her eyes and feeling utterly powerless to stop it. This wasn't just about physical symptoms. It was about the fear of the unknown, the terrifying possibility that they might never find a cure, never get back the vibrant Mark she knew. Kelly often spoke of how Mark was her anchor, her safe harbor. Now that anchor seemed to be slipping, and she was left grappling with a profound sense of grief and anticipatory loss. She maintained her professional composure on screen, her laugh still echoing through the studio, but behind the scenes, her heart was in agony. Each smile, each witty remark she delivered to millions was a testament to her immense personal strength, a carefully constructed shield against the crushing weight of her private heartbreak. The world saw her sparkle, But few understood the tears she shed in private, the desperate prayers she whispered for her husband's recovery. Then, after what felt like an eternity of uncertainty and despair, a breakthrough finally arrived. A dedicated team of specialists, through relentless investigation and cutting-edge diagnostics, finally pinpointed the elusive cause of Mark's suffering. The diagnosis, while initially terrifying, came with a glimmer of hope. It was treatable. The relief that washed over Kelly was profound, a release of tension that had accumulated over months of silent agony. However, the path to recovery was not simple. It would require intensive treatment, significant lifestyle changes, and a period of prolonged healing. For Kelly, this meant making an incredibly difficult decision, one that would demand immense personal sacrifice. Her demanding career, her daily presence on Live, was no longer compatible with the level of care and unwavering support Mark would need. She knew, with every fiber of her being, that her place was by his side, nurturing him back to health, no matter the cost to her own professional life. The decision to step back from her beloved show, from the career she had poured her heart and soul into for decades, was agonizing. It represented a profound personal sacrifice, a public farewell to a chapter of her life that had brought her immense joy and fulfillment. But for Kelly, there was no real choice. Mark's health, his well-being, their future together, these were paramount. With a heavy heart, yet with an undeniable sense of purpose, she prepared for her emotional farewell from Live. The day of her final broadcast was charged with an almost unbearable emotional tension. The studio audience, along with millions of viewers at home, braced themselves for a moment that would undoubtedly be filled with tears. Kelly, true to her resilient spirit, approached it with grace and candor. She spoke of her gratitude, her love for her audience, and the profound journey she had shared with them. But it was when she began to explain the true reason behind her departure, the heartbreaking details of Mark's health battle, that her composure finally broke. With tears streaming down her face, her voice choked with emotion, Kelly revealed the depths of her heartbreak. She spoke of Mark's long, arduous battle, the fear, the helplessness, and her unwavering commitment to his recovery. It was a raw, honest, and utterly heartbreaking confession, shared with the world in a moment of profound vulnerability. The agony she had privately endured for months poured out, resonating deeply with every viewer who had ever faced a similar battle for a loved one. Her sacrifice, the decision to step away from her glittering career, was not just an act of love, but a testament to the unbreakable bond she shared with Mark. It was a reaffirmation of her vows, a profound statement that for her, true wealth lay not in fame or fortune, but in the health and happiness of her family. The studio audience, and indeed the entire nation, wept with her, sharing in her sorrow and admiring her extraordinary strength. But even in this moment of heartbreak, Kelly, being Kelly, managed to infuse a glimmer of surprising hope. In the midst of her profound emotional farewell, Kelly, with a faint yet determined smile, shared a crucial piece of hope. She spoke not just of Mark's diagnosis, but of the pioneering new treatment plan that was showing immense promise. Her sacrifice, she explained, wasn't just about withdrawing, but about fully immersing herself in supporting Mark through this groundbreaking journey, a journey that could potentially pave the way for others facing similar, complex health challenges. This heartbreak, she declared, would become their new purpose. While dedicating herself to Mark's recovery, she also pledged to use her platform to raise awareness and support for the very medical research that was now helping her husband. It was an inspiring twist, transforming a moment of deep sadness into a powerful call to action. Kelly Ripa, even in her agony, found a way to turn personal tragedy into a beacon of hope, proving that true love isn't just about sharing joy, but about standing united in the face of the darkest storms and emerging stronger together. And so, as we conclude this deeply moving story, we see Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos embarking on a new, incredibly meaningful chapter of their lives. Kelly's heartbreaking sacrifice, made out of boundless love for Mark, has transformed into a powerful mission. While she may no longer grace our screens daily, her influence now extends far beyond entertainment. She and Mark, hand in hand, are actively involved in championing health initiatives, supporting medical research, and advocating for those battling chronic illnesses. Mark's health, thanks to the dedicated care and pioneering treatments,